class of 2012.
There's the flyover.
Yeah, American Airlines flyover.
Good evening, soccer fans. If you are joining us, we are in the pregame ceremonies. Duchesne High School hosting St. Dominic High School here for the Spies Strong night. Honorary captains Nick and Nathan Spies are on the pitch right now as the coin toss is happening. So a little different feel to the start of the game here as we have some special ceremonies leading up to kickoff. And we will try and bring you all of that action as best as we can.
How'd our captains do? Did we win the toss? There you go. At this time, would everyone please rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats for our pregame prayer. God our Father, you have created us to strive for the best. Grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans strength to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from harm, and finally, we pray for your grace that you would provide us with the endurance to pursue our heavenly prize, eternal life in your Son. Amen. And would everyone please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the St. Charles Police Department Honor Guard. And if you'll still remain standing for the singing of our national anthem tonight by Duchesne Jr., Tiana Newman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job.
Good job, Tiana. I jumped the gun. I said she's a junior. That's in 3 weeks. Right now, she's a sophomore. And there's the flyover by the St. Louis Police Department.
Good timing.
Great timing there for a helicopter for St. Louis Police Department. Probably not able to see that on your screen, but
Now let's meet
coming in
tonight's
at a
starting
30-degree
lineups.
angle.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
For St. Dominic in goal, a sophomore, number 1, Evie Baker. Should have probably waited the colors got up. At midfielder, a senior, number 2, Ava Rademeyer. A senior midfielder, number 4, Grace Ludy. Sophomore defender, number 6, Lily Herman.
And another fly over
Senior
there with the
midfielder,
siren
number
going.
7, Kaylee Canoyer. Sophomore midfielder, number 8, Jory Bristow. Senior midfielder, number 10, Avery Tebow. Senior forward, number 13, Ella Anselm. Sophomore midfielder, number 14, Peyton Suter. Junior defender, number 16, Sophia Catalano. And a freshman defender, number 21, Madison McGee. The head coach of the Crusaders is Greg Keller. He's assisted by Kevin Cooksey. And now the starting lineup for your Duchesne Pioneers. In goal, a senior, number 0, Maddie Danker. A sophomore midfielder, number 2, Sarah Smith. A senior forward, number 6, Katie Stockhausen. A senior defender, number 7, Faith Dunn. A junior defender, number 9, Brooke Kamer. A freshman midfielder, number 10, Charlie Pirtle. A senior forward, number 11, Madison McCarthy. A sophomore midfielder, number 13, Naomi Grizzle. A sophomore midfielder, number 14, Violet Saheda. A sophomore defender, number 26, Daly Meyer. A freshman defender, number 28, Katie Wilcho. The head coach is Patrick Turner. He's assisted by Claire Skaggs and Jimmy Choinka. Our officials tonight are Bill Castillo, Doug Helfrich, and Stephen Lang. And again, we want to thank the St. Charles City Police for the colors tonight, the St. Louis Police Department for the flyover. We thank all of you for being here tonight on this special night as we honor our co-captains, Nick and Nathan Spees. Before we kick off, right, we'll make sure
You're listening to Varsity Soccer on the Duchesne High School Pioneer Network.
Basket tonight. We have baskets with St. Louis City Tigers, St. Louis Cardinals Tigers, and St. Louis Battle Hawks. Have a gift basket courtesy of Emerge Fitness. A car care gift basket. Certificate for a free team driving on a cover gift ticket. A lucky lottery ticket for a home security basket with the best ever and a gift card. A candy basket and a gift card for a ticket for a game of Also, be sure to purchase your duck for $1. Duck and half time for $6 gift card today. And tonight we have television and television under 10 and older than 10 and older. Sit back and enjoy the game tonight.
All right, soccer fans, welcome back to Pioneer Soccer. So let's slide in those shin guards, lace up those boots. It's time for kickoff. I am Jason Boschert alongside Mr. Mike Ryan. Michael, what a great night we got here.
Oh, the field looks great. The weather's perfect. No winds.
It is going to be a fantastic evening here, no matter what the outcome for the soccer, as we are all here not as two soccer teams, but as one community here to support Nathan Spees in his recovery efforts. Nathan, a 2012 graduate of Duchesne High School, injured in the line of duty, is a St. Louis police officer. Injured in the line of duty. It's a life-altering injury. And the community, both Pioneer community and the Crusader community, coming together tonight to honor Nathan and to raise funds for his very long road ahead.
Not just once, but twice. 2 years ago, he was shot in the other leg.
Correct.
So it's been a tough road for him in the last few years, but he's handling it with
Pioneers shot a goal off the crossbar already. Wow. Less than a minute into the game, and we've got our first crossbar of the game. Sorry to interrupt you there,
No,
Mike,
no,
but
no,
I just
no, that's what we're here for.
Man, my heart just skipped a beat there. I thought the Pioneers were going to go up early in this game.
All I was going to say is he's handling it with a lot of grace, and he's got a lot of support.
He's a fantastic addition to the Duchesne community, has been a wonderful member up here, proud soccer player, and once again, 2012 alum Nathan Spees here in attendance this evening. He and his brother Nick were co-captains, honorary captains here at the coin toss, and we are certainly very thankful that they were able to make it out here this evening, as we know that the recovery effort is certainly a long one, including multiple surgeries, and a great cross there by Dominic, held in but not headed in, as they are threatening now in the box here for the Pioneers. So as we go into this game here, St. Dominic, they're a Class 4 opponent, coming in with a record of 5-5. They are 2-1 in their past 3 games, and now we've got an offsides against Dominic. Good movement by the back line for the Pioneers. Duchesne's record coming into this game, 8-4, and they are coming in on 3-0 streak here right now. So good to see the Pioneers firing on all cylinders. And speaking of such, we do have number 10, Charlie Pirtle, back in the lineup here this evening, Mike.
Her. 4-0, coming off 4 wins.
4, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So Pirtle out for the past few games here on concussion protocol, as the Crusaders are streaking up the field, and they do find the back of the net and put the Crusaders up 1-0. And we will search for the number there. That was number 14.
Peyton
Suter.
Suter. That makes it 1-0, 2.5 minutes into this first half. Not the way Duchesne would like to start.
Crusader goal by number 14, Peyton Suter.
Suter ran right by our backs and had a one-on-one with Maddie Denker. Maddie really didn't have a chance on that.
Wow, how important is it that the Pioneers scored on that first opportunity, right? We'd be looking at an even game here, but now the Pioneers find themselves trailing 3 minutes into the game. Crusaders get a goal from Peyton Suter 3 minutes in here. So we knew it's going to be a tough matchup here for the Pioneers. Class 2 going up against Class 4. However, the Pioneers really looking good this year.
They've really improved. Yeah, they've really improved since the start of the season. Mm-hmm. We're young, and it just takes time for them to sort of settle in.
Correct. And we are getting contributions all over the field. It's not just one player, 2 players, whatever. It is just all over the place. And that's what's going to make for a great team and a good competition here this evening at Frank Barrow Stadium. So beautiful evening, mostly cloudy. There is a slight chance of some storms, and I know the highs today were in the 80s. I'm going to assume that we're probably right at about 80 degrees here at kickoff.
77.
77.
Close enough.
Large group in attendance here this evening, both for the Pioneers and the Crusaders. Many of the people taking advantage of a delicious barbecue out in the Grove before the game. I had a chance to stop by there and smell all the smells, Mike, but I had already eaten before I got there, so I didn't partake. But I'm telling you right now, everything looked delicious. Yeah. So we want to say thank you to all of the parents that were out there helping to put that on, and Kurt Schneider organizing it. Just yet another great example of the community up here at Duchesne High School. So the Pioneers working up wide, intercepted, and ball played forward as the Crusaders switch the field, playing up far side. Ball through, Suter on the ball again. Goes bouncing into the box. Oh, and not cleared properly, so held in. And nearly a foul at the top of the box, but the Pioneers get away with one right there as they start to work their way back up the field.
You can already see that Dominic has some good speed along the front line, so going to have to be aware of that going forward.
A little microphone issue there as we bring on our first guest of the evening. We are not short on content here this evening, Mike. We have got plenty of content for everybody, and
we have a lot going on tonight.
A lot going on, and we are very happy to bring in Miss Deb Turner.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out here and being with us.
What a night. Just wide.
Just wide. So,
yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's a really exciting night. It's wonderful to see this many people come in together for this. It's pretty fantastic.
And the weather's cooperating. The barbecue was smelling fantastic. I think there were a few different organizations within school that were raising funds, including a dress down day today.
Yes,
right?
we had a dress down day. We raised over $800.
Wow.
So if you do the math, it was a $3 dress down day, but we raised $800. So people were very generous in their donations today for the Spies Foundation. We also had the boys soccer team came together and donated $500 just kind of out of nowhere. So that was really exciting. And and St. Dominic has been from the beginning reached out and wanted to be a part of it. So they had a family that was kind of taking the lead on their side, and they donated some things for a basket as well. So it's been a real group effort.
And that is such a classy move. You've got a rivalry like this, but it puts things in perspective where, we are all the same community coming together to support one of our own here as Catholics and, support our officer, Nathan Spies. It just, it gives you goosebumps just thinking about it.
Well, it does. And I said in a meeting today, this is the easiest fundraiser we've ever had because we didn't have to ask for a thing. People just offered, and, we didn't even think of things. And they're like, well, we would love to offer this for a basket if you don't mind. So it was, just the most effortless on our end because people wanted to do something. And this was a good way that they could really see, making an impact and see how they can really impact the community.
Absolutely.
And that's something we always talk about is family up here and community, and this is certainly a great example of that.
Yeah, people were coming out of the woodwork. It was great.
Brooke Kamer kind of overcome there on the far side as the Pioneers were trying to work up, but she was double teamed and not able to break through.
She's going to have her hands full. That number 13 Anselm's fast and big.
Yeah.
She's going to have to keep her in front of her.
This is going to be a tough match here for the Pioneers as they're going to try and, keep those numbers up there. But you add this heat, and you've got a little bit of humidity and all that as well, and that's going to lead to, some tired legs. We're going to have to go to our bench, rely on them quite a bit here this evening. So it'll be interesting to see just how far into the game Coach Patrick Turner is going to wait before playing his bench. That was a fantastic ball through.
What a
big save by Maddie Dinker.
Maddie Dinker.
Reaches out with the right foot and
Look at
a huge save for Dinker.
That's Bennington.
Just getting warmed up for the playoff game tonight.
Man, that was great.
Kick save.
What a ball, though, that
Yeah.
fed that. Goodness gracious.
So they're players to watch here as we go into this. Number 23, Hannah McCain. 6 goals, 1 assist, 13 points. Number 14, Peyton Suter, which we have found out already has a goal here this evening. She's got 4 goals, 2 assists, 10 points, not including the goal this evening. And then number 7, Kaylee Canoyer with 3 goals, 3 assists, and 9 points. And we do have an offsides flag here going up against the Crusaders. So the high line for the Pioneers has proven effective here more than once already this evening.
For what it's worth, I pushed water on the girls a lot today.
Good. That's good.
To the point where they were avoiding eye contact with me by the end of the day. So I did what I could.
So I had a chance to catch Becky Williamson here before the match here this evening, and she is super excited about our Pioneer for the day tomorrow.
I literally just got 2 texts from 2 different moms saying, can I still sign up for that? I'm like, girl, you can sign up till tomorrow morning. Just show up. But we have 100. Well, with these 2 extras, we're now at 147. 147 kids.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
To see 147 kids that are going to cross the threshold tomorrow morning and come check out the Pioneers.
Charlie
Pirtle with an excellent cross. Madison McCarthy unable to get her head on it, but another good look for the Pioneers.
Fun fact, Charlie Pirtle and I share the same birthday.
Do you really?
We do.
I was going to say, you don't look a day over 18.
To be very clear, there was a bit of a gap. But yes, we sure do. Her parents, good friends of of mine.
Wonderful people. We've
Really
Mike and I
solid,
both have.
yeah, really solid supporters of Duchesne.
Yes.
Well, and really solid as they own a gym.
And so is,
I'm not
Charlie.
so solid. Excellent play there on the back line by Welchko.
Freshman.
She's got her work cut out for her this evening, but so far has been doing an excellent job. And Pioneers getting ready for their first substitution of the game. Allison Slattery going to come in. And it looks like she is going to take off Madison McCarthy.
Sophomore for senior. Duchesne started 4 seniors, a junior, 4 sophomores, and 2 freshmen tonight. St. Dominic started 5 seniors, a junior, 4 sophomores, and a freshman. They've got 10 sophomores on their roster.
Whew. Wow. So certainly going to be a force to reckon with as we've seen the ebbs and flows here in the booth, and you get these years where you get a big freshman class coming in, and next thing you know, they're seniors and dominating the play.
Yeah. They're going to be good for the next few years to come, for sure.
Good save back there on the back line. That's the goalkeeper, Evie Baker, making a sliding save, making sure that Pioneers are not able to capitalize on a ball in the box. Saheda out wide. Dunn streaking up. Dunn pressuring. Great pressure by Dunn. That's going to be a throw-in for the Pioneers. Well done there. Haha, no pun intended.
Well, you wouldn't know it, but Faith Dunn just got voted with the Virtue of the Year award, even though she just pushed that girl right down off the ball. So
Might have to talk to her about that.
I don't know, but
I see nothing. I know nothing.
but no, oh my goodness, what a phenomenal person on and off the field, Faith.
So we are nearing the end of the 24-25 school year. Deb, what are some of your key takeaways from this year? What are the fun moments? What are the things that are really going to stick in your mind?
Don't get me talking about it. I get emotional.
I'm okay
Jason.
with that.
I am
It's
in
okay.
denial
I'm a crier
of this
too.
class, actually. Good job, Maddie. Yeah, key takeaways. What a special class this was. I feel like to sound pretty cliched, they brought Duchesne back to life. They were the class that came in and really kind of just took the school by the horns, got involved, did everything. You know, if there wasn't something already happening that they wanted to do, they made it happen. They embraced the house system. And I like I've said, the house system is not, new. All different schools have a house system, but we have one that works very well. And I attribute a lot of that to this senior class and just buying in and, just being phenomenal leaders in the classroom, on the field, outside. They're just a really special group.
Well, and specific to that class with me having a son there, I still remember the very first home football game as a freshman. And I brought him up here, and, I was in the stands, and he was over there, and, already had made some friends. And we're talking, a week or two into school, maybe.
Sure.
And the game is over, and I'm ready to go home and call it a day as the Pioneers, are unable to stop the attack of the Crusaders.
It was a nice strike.
Excellent strike in, and that's number 13, Ella Anselm. And she's going to put the Crusaders up 2-0.
She had her first one. She had their first goal too, or no?
No, Suter.
Oh, Suter. Okay.
Yeah, Anselm's a senior.
Goal by number 13, Ella Anselm.
She's going to be a handful over there.
Yeah, that was a nice lift.
Yeah, she's creating a lot of chances, and she looks good.
Yeah.
As I said, Brooke Kamer's going to have her hands full.
But going back to the story here, first football game, and we're ready to, I'm ready to head home. It's 9-something, and I don't stay up that late anymore. And Trevor says, hey, we're going to Lions. You can just pick me up there. And I'm like, wait, who's we? How do you already know people? He's like, the freshmen. We're all going. I'm like, okay. So I literally sat in the parking lot in a car, pulled in there, and I'm right next to Christy Shaw, and I'm like, it looks like we're going to be close friends for the next 4 years. And she's like, yep. And from that moment, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
How close those kids have been since day one. And,
They really
and
are.
they came from different schools. It's not like they all came from one feeder school.
It like I said, they're a special group. They mesh so well with each other, and it's funny in the lunchroom because they all try to sit at one table and then there's like 3 tables with 2 kids. And I'm like, can we spread this out? Goodness, COVID was rough for them when they had to spread out by 6 feet. Goodness me. But yeah, they are, it's in every sense of the word, they have built the momentum and that's what's brought us to where we're at now.
So we have a foul against the Pioneers and more specifically against the Virtue of the Year award recipient, Faith Dunn, pushing a girl over outside the box. Thankfully, outside the box. So
I believe the referee did not vote on that award.
Duchesne pushing out.
Well, it is fun to see, looking beyond just this senior class, right? It's fun to see the involvement of the school and how we are growing. Not just the student base is growing, but we have a couple more new hires coming on now in the Pioneers. It's exciting to be a Pioneer.
Yeah.
And I really wholeheartedly mean that. It really is very exciting for the future of the school right now.
Absolutely. There's a really good energy. It's a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
The other day I went in to lunch to sit down at the teacher table, which, 4 years ago there would have been a spot every time. And the last 2 days I've been like, well, I guess I'll go eat in my office because there's no place to sit at the teacher table. We need a bigger table. But that just kind of is just a little caveat of how the teachers interact with each other. They genuinely enjoy being at school. So I don't know. When the teachers like what they're doing, it makes it easier for the kids to like what they're doing, I think. So we've got that going. It's good.
We do.
It's
that
good
was an
vibes.
offsides on Ella Anselm for the Crusaders. Probably her 3rd or 4th already today. You can tell exactly where her strengths lie.
Mm-hmm.
Speed and ability to read the play and take off. Unfortunately, just didn't angle that run properly.
She's going to be a matchup problem for us tonight. She's just a couple of steps quicker than our 2 center backs, so they're really going to have to stay tight with her. We keep trying to get into that offsides trap, and, boy, you live and die with that. So
You certainly do. And when you're asking a freshman and a sophomore to try and keep up with a senior, especially a speedy senior like Anselm is, it's just going to be really, really difficult here for the Pioneers this evening.
Seniors are bigger, stronger, faster, so.
Yep.
She's tall.
And
Here's
a shot on goal. Oh, just wide.
I don't hate that at all, Sarah Smith.
Not at all. Sarah Smith, your goal scorer in our Notre Dame game, where the Pioneers were victorious 1-0. Would love to see her get us on the board here this evening.
One of the 3 sophomores that start at midfield.
So as we're talking about the Pioneers, our 3 players to watch for the Pioneers, number 6, Katie Stockhausen, 8 goals, 10 assists, 26 points already on the season. Number 11, Madison McCarthy, 6 goals, 3 assists, 15 points, both of them seniors. And then freshman, number 10, Charlie Pirtle with 5 goals, 5 assists, 15 points on the season. Ball crossed over in the box, and Danker with a huge save. Right place, right time. Danker shuts it down, concedes the corner, but we are happy to do so on a fantastic save by Maddie Danker.
Okay, gentlemen,
I want to
my
remind
son.
everybody that you've got about 20 minutes to get your raffle tickets and
raffle
your
tickets.
duck to chuck at halftime. We're going to close it off here probably with about 2 minutes left in the halftime.
My son has ate all the snacks in the press box, so I think that's my cue to leave.
Okay.
He walked out here with a muffin and like 3 packs of Skittles. I don't know what happened.
Well, Deb,
So,
we
anyway,
certainly
yeah, thanks
appreciate
for
you
having
coming
me,
and
guys.
seeing us here today.
Love listening to the broadcast. Love the shout outs when I'm home with a sick kid. They were awesome. So thanks, guys. Have a good night.
And another save, Danker! Woo! 2 hands on it. Fantastic reflexes on a point-blank shot.
She's keeping us in the game.
She certainly is. Danker putting on a show for the Pioneers right now.
Yeah, we can't continue to live with that. We got to shut that 13 down.
20:58 left to
good.
go. First half action. Crusaders over top of the Pioneers right now by a score of 2-0.
Yeah, and, coming into this game, they've only scored 18 goals in 10 games. 7 of them were in one game.
McCarthy, near side, streaking up. Gains some momentum, gains the box. Coming across, taken down in the box, and no call. Clearly pushed in the back, and no call for the Pioneers. So play on.
Game settled in. You're seeing play at both ends of the field now. That's number 2 on the far side. Sarah Smith takes a nice shot. The goalie goes down. There's a rebound there. That's the one of the basics, right? Follow your shot.
Sorry, I was a little set aside here. I had other things to worry about, Mike. I can't be worried about soccer right now. I'm worried about Chuck-a-Duck. We got Chuck-a-Duck coming in here soon.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Sweet, thank you. Good, how are you?
It's good to see you.
We've got Nick Spees here getting ready to join us after we have a quick word from our sponsor.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
All right, we are back, and Mike and I are now joined in the booth by Nick Spees, one of our honorary captains here for the Spees Strong Night. Nick, welcome to the booth, man.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you here. We certainly appreciate you being here, and obviously, we've been talking about it here quite a bit this evening that we're, not just 2 soccer games here playing a match, but we are one big Catholic community coming together to support your brother Nathan after his injury there. So, while it's never a good reason to come together, it gives you goosebumps just thinking about it, right? When everybody comes together and they realize that, hey, it's more than just sports here.
Yeah, and that's something Pat and I have always talked about ever since I started coaching with him, is how the Duchesne community.
Did you mention that he's the assistant varsity boys coach?
I have not yet. Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of nice being on the spectator, and this time don't have to be down there controlling Pat.
Yeah, because before we leave, I'm going to ask you about number 13, how we're going to shut her down.
So you've been an assistant coach here with Pat for 10 years now?
Yep, I believe that's what Mrs. Moore said this past year, and which is really crazy because she said that, and I was like, "There's no way it's already been 10 years."
Right?
Flies by.
How's your brother doing? And, just...
He's doing good. Physically, he's probably doing as well as he can do.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get another operation, another skin graft. But other than that, his wounds are healing well.
Good.
Good.
He's able to do a bunch of stuff that he probably shouldn't be doing at this point, but he is hanging in there physically.
Probably has a lot of therapy in his near future.
Yeah. So right now he's going 3 days a week. Once he gets a prosthetic, he'll have to go probably 5 days a week.
Okay.
But he's able to manage it. It definitely beats just sitting on a couch or a bed all day. So.
Well, and his injury was sustained in the service on the St. Louis City Police Department. And you're a firefighter.
Yep.
So we appreciate your service
Absolutely.
to the community.
Thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, he's such an active guy, and I think that'll serve him well down the road. It's going to be tough at first adjusting to that, but
Yeah, and that's something that I've been saying too is right now, you're still in the first phase of the grieving process, and it's hard to adjust your lifestyle right now, especially when you're so active. You're playing soccer, you're out being a cop,
Sure.
You're doing all this stuff, and then next thing you know, the best thing you can do is probably sit on a bed.
yeah,
Right.
So,
yeah.
When mobility becomes an issue, it's not just the the physical aspect; it's the mental aspect
Yep,
of it too.
absolutely.
That is going to be really difficult
Absolutely.
to overcome.
And that's what events like this, the Duchesne community has been awesome. St. Charles in general has been awesome. The St. Louis area has been absolutely amazing. We've been getting people from across the country, cops from across the country contacting him
Wow.
that have had similar injuries and everything. And really, the all the help and all the support right now is like the biggest thing for him.
Sure.
Yeah, money will help in the long run whenever he has to do stuff, life changes with vehicles, houses, whatever he has to do. But just seeing the support from everywhere around us is mentally, is like we were just saying, physically he's doing okay, mentally is the hard part, and having that support is absolutely game changing.
Well, and when you have those moments, I mean, everybody has them, right? You've got your ups and downs, your ebbs and flows, and when you've got those down moments, to be able to look back on an event like this where the stands are packed, with both Pioneer and Crusaders fans, and not just for the game. They're here to support Nathan. It's just and your whole family, right?
Yep.
Those are the moments that give you the strength to, okay, you know what? I might be able to just be on the couch, but
Absolutely.
I'm going to find a way to kick my brother in the butt.
Right.
Right? So,
And Nick, you can attest to this. We mentioned this to Debbie Turner, who was just with us. We stress family and community up here at Duchesne. You can attest to that. You were a student here, and the two of us graduated from here. And
Absolutely.
It's just a big part of attending Duchesne and, being part of something bigger than yourself. And tonight's a testament to that.
Absolutely. I tell my wife this all the time. When we're talking about where we're going to send our kids, going through Duchesne, and I'll brag about St. Cletus too, being a St. Cletus kid.
Sure.
Some of our best friends still are guys that we went to St. Cletus with, came to Duchesne with, played soccer with, and being able to still have those close connections, and then now they have kids, and we all send them
Sure.
to the same school and everything together. It's going to be
Pretty cool.
It's fun, and we know what it's like because we were here, so we kind of give a little. We have an aspect of what it's going to be like for whenever they get here and everything.
Right.
So
I think a lot of schools pay lip service to it, but Duchesne, it's a reality
Yeah,
here.
it
They
really
put
is.
it into motion, and like I said, and thanks to St. Dominic too. They're
absolutely.
a big rivalry here for decades and decades, and they're joining right in, and again, it's big.
supporting with a basket and everything as well.
Yeah,
so.
it's bigger than soccer for sure.
Definitely.
So on the personal side, you're talking about the family, kids, and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about your family. Wife, kids.
So I got a wife, been married 6 years now, coming up here in May. She's a nurse at Children's Hospital. Got a 2.5-year-old and got a 8-week-old sitting at home. Actually sitting up here.
So that's a common theme. Fireman, policeman, nurse. I mean, your
Right.
family's serving a
Right.
lot of people out there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife that. I told her that the other day that she tends to like guys with badges, but she got mad at me for that and denied it. But we can't tell her we were talking about that because if people agree with me, then I'll be even more right. And I can't be right.
Right. So
Yeah.
8-week-old, I tell you what, I don't know about you, but Mike, and maybe you've got some info on this too. With Trevor, he was just over a year before he slept through the night. I felt like a zombie for a full year.
Right.
Are you dealing with that at all here, Nick?
You know what the answer is? Cough syrup.
For him or me?
Lots of cough syrup. Obviously, I'm kidding.
A little whiskey.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's actually not too bad. So she does have our newborn. Her name's Riley. She does have reflux, so a lot of puke. At first, she was a little uncomfortable on her back. Got some Pepsin. She's doing a lot better now. We're getting stents where she's going almost 6 hours at night without feeding. So,
That's
wow.
good.
so
That's
it's
really
not
good.
bad. But once she wakes up to feed, then it's kind of hard to get her back down. But,
Sure.
but it's not too bad. We've been our boy JJ. He's actually slept pretty well early on. Sleeps well now, and she's doing pretty dang well too. So I
what's
can't complain.
I didn't mean to. Sorry, I didn't
No,
mean
you're
to cut
fine.
you off. So, what's in the near future for Nathan? Is he going to have to travel for medical care, or is this all going to be local?
So he did get accepted into Walter Reed Military Hospital in Maryland. And for that to happen, you either have to be a veteran or you have to get a designation from like senators, politicians, governors. So he did get accepted into that,
Great.
but they didn't have any beds available.
Oh, okay.
So they have a branch hospital, San Antonio Military Medical, that's apparently best hospital in Texas. It's a
Sam's Army Base, is that?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's a big place.
Yep. Also really, really good with prosthetics and everything. So our next step is talking to his doctor that he has now, seeing if that's going to be in his best interest. The support here locally is awesome. It's nice having family around and everything, but ultimately he wants to do whatever's going to get him back on the job because that's his end goal is to be.
And it's a
continue
great
being
thing
a cop.
he's being. It's a great thing he's being accepted by the military medical. Unfortunately, they're experts at it,
Right.
But that's great that he's.
Hurdle taken down there near side. And referee says shoulder to shoulder and lets it play on. That's the second questionable non-call that I've seen here against the Pioneers, unfortunately. Had it gone our way, that could have certainly proved to be a difference maker on the scoreboard. So
Nick, all things considered, it sounds like it's going about as well as it could, after the fact.
Yep, it definitely is.
Mom and Dad doing all right?
They are.
Saw your mom here tonight.
It's tough for them, especially for my mom, and it was whenever we both decided to do jobs that aren't the safest.
Sure.
But now that my parents had to live a nightmare with my brother twice, it still makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But, with those nightmares, the fact that we can say twice now that he's still alive is astonishing.
Yeah.
The second time, one of the first things my brother said to me was, I can't believe I'm done being a cop, which I had to argue with him that he's not. And the second thing was, I saw the car coming. I tried getting out of the way as quick as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, dude, you saw the car coming. If you didn't see that car coming, we'd be at a gravesite right now.
Right.
In the hospital.
yeah,
That's a tough thing to take in at the moment. You just lost a big part of your life, and you don't really think about the life or death aspect of it. So
Right.
sure.
Well, and, his strength and resilience and,
and
carrying himself with a lot of grace, it's going to be a great example for a lot of people. And I don't think he probably even realized how many people their lives will be affected by his example.
Oh, absolutely. And, I have to give a lot of his hard work and dedication and stuff to Duchesne. I saw it on the soccer field because I was kind of one of the other guys, too, to do this. We weren't the greatest, but we worked hard.
Yeah.
We worked hard. Everything we did, we gave 100%. We loved what we did. And, that hard work really carried over outside of high school. And Pat and I like to, whenever it's our boys season, we like to tell all the boys that, everything we're teaching you now and everything we're going through soccer isn't just for soccer, but it's for later on in life.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the players we played with, the coaches we had, and the support from everybody at the school during that time at Duchesne, things could definitely be different now.
It's interesting you brought that up. I was a soccer coordinator at St. Charles Borromeo Parish for a number of years, and I always told the coaches if, how important it was to, teach, take care of the kids in the right manner. And
Absolutely.
if we ask adults who were the most influential people in their lives, I bet a coach would show up on that list of, 5 or 10
Right.
people. So, yeah, it's a big influence, that's for sure. And you're, again, you're a witness to that.
Yeah, it really is. And what I also enjoy about that is now being a testimony of that playing here, and now and same with Pat, can pass that along
Coaching.
with the boys that we have. So.
And you grew up right in the shadow of Duchesne here,
Yep,
2
I
blocks
can
away.
See the house right from here.
That's right.
My parents hated it because we had boys over every day before or after games.
That Sam
every
Chambers.
Friday.
studying,
Gotta stay
I'm
away
sure.
from that Sam
Yeah,
Chambers.
always studying. Yeah.
We never had any of our friends light smoke bombs in the basement or anything. We're
The library's
windows don't open up.
2 blocks down further, but you probably don't know where that is, do you?
Saved there by Danker.
What's a library card?
So if you're just joining us, we are 6:48 left to play, first half action. The Crusaders right now with a 2-0 lead over the Pioneers, and we are joined in the box by Nick Spiess. We are having a Spiess Strong night here where we are raising funds for Nick's brother Nathan, who was injured in the line of duty as a St. Louis police officer. And it's just an absolutely incredible outpouring of community vibe, money, just, being together just to support Nathan. And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun to be here, be a part of it, Nick. Even just starting over at the barbecue, I wasn't sure if you were able to make it over there or not. I got here an hour and a half before the game started, and there were already 30, 40, 50 people,
that's
a
awesome.
news crew
I love
here.
that.
I mean, it was incredible.
That is awesome. Yeah, I came straight from work, so came from work for this and then go back to work right afterwards. But,
So that shot on there, Brooke Kammerer, far side. Sorry to interrupt
No,
you
you're
there,
okay.
but you gotta make sure that we get some good looks here. And boy, I tell you what, I don't know if you saw the first opportunity for the Pioneers.
Yeah.
1 minute into the game, we
Yeah.
put it off the crossbar. It's like, oh man.
it's a game changer.
It is. It absolutely is. And 2 minutes later, the Crusaders go up by 1. It's like, man, how important was that first one?
Right.
So,
So Nick, as a coach, playing that offsides trap, does that get you biting your fingernails a little bit as a coach?
It does.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the defenders think they're offside and they stop, throw
Yeah.
their hand up.
Right.
Throw their hand
Correct.
up. Say, I'm calling the offsides, even though the ref's not calling it and they weren't offsides. It is frustrating, and I want to say I was probably that way too whenever I played.
Sure.
But hey, if you're quick enough to get back and defend them after you're wrong making that call, then go. By all means, go for it.
And you got to have a goalie that's ready to come off their line.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys got to be on the same page.
Right.
Well, it's a tough ask here, as we've got obviously a very skilled striker there, a couple of them actually for the Crusaders, and we're asking a freshman and a sophomore to defend a senior, right? A couple seniors.
Yep.
So just the simple size and ability and all that stuff, and the awareness. There's just so many different aspects that are in favor of the Crusaders on this, but I don't want to take anything away from our back line because, honestly, I think they have played an excellent game so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very happy with the way that they're playing. We certainly, have to be mindful of the fact that we are a Class 2 playing a Class 4 team here tonight. And, I mean, right now, 4 minutes left. It's 2-0. And the Pioneers with some good opportunities, maybe a couple missed calls that could have led to a goal or two for the Pioneers, and we could be right back in it. So very happy with the ladies tonight.
Being down 2-0 is always the worst score to be.
That's what they say.
Right?
Well, in playing the offsides trap, you got to play flat across the back. So if they beat you, you've got to have somebody with speed to catch them.
Yeah.
And that's the risk that you take.
Yeah.
You can't really play the angles along the back.
Ducks are all sold out for halftime.
Stockhausen there draws the foul at midfield.
But to your point, Jason, the game's settled in.
It certainly has. It's a good possession-based game. There are certainly some good physical plays out there, but you can tell that nobody is going into this like a wrecking ball, and you do get those games in high school, right, where kids will go in and they're wanting to take down somebody's number and
just a bunch of adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's exactly. I was just going to say at the start of the game. I mean, both teams were flying up and down the field.
Yeah.
You can see where it's settled in, and everybody's starting to work the ball, looking up for teammates.
Right.
The way the game should be played.
And
That's
this is a talented, Crusader squad coming in here. Probably not one of the best teams that we've seen in recent years out of them, but certainly a very good team. And they've had a tough schedule as they come into this match 5-5. The Pioneers coming in 8-4.
I think it's pretty tough to put bad teams in St. Dominic in the same.
It is, and I'm certainly not going to call them a bad team by any means. But
Was she outside the box?
Oh, she was outside the box, so that is going to be
that's a
handball call against the Pioneers.
That's a communication issue there.
Going to be a card.
And, yep, she is going to get a card for that one. Yellow card going to Maddie Denker. So Maddie now will have to sub off. Ella Burke will have to come in for the Pioneers.
About another 6 inches. That would have been a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Maddie Denker stopped 2 of them in extra time earlier. What's that, Villa Duchesne game?
Correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the
Wow.
PKs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
2 out of 4. She's played great
So-
tonight early on. She's kept us in this game early.
Center referee maybe has a little bit of confusion going on here as Pioneers are trying to sub out Denker per the Misha rules, and and he was just ready to play on.
It's not the English Premier League.
Right.
Is that
So-
Ella Burks? It's coming
Ella's
in.
a freshman for the Pioneers.
Played on the hockey team, the men's hockey team.
So this will be a direct free kick for the Crusaders just outside the box. We have 2:19 left to play in the game. So different from a penalty kick, there will be defenders and attackers both in the box. This will be, my guess, either it looks like it's set up for a shot on goal here. Going to throw this ball on target. Doesn't look like any kind of trick play. That's a shot, and it goes right over the head of Burke and in the back of the net, and that is a goal for the Crusaders, putting them up by a score of 3-0.
How about that? You go in for one shot, they score a goal, and you come out.
And
And that was scored by number 23, Hannah McCain.
yeah, that right there is hard for a
McEwen?
goalie. Can't see over the wall. Ball goes right over the wall. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Crusader goal by number 23, Hannah McEwen.
Still plenty of time left, though.
It is.
All it takes is one.
And Jason mentioned we're young at the center back positions, and
Right.
They're learning. They're
Yep.
learning to play next to each other. They're learning to play in front of their goalie, and
this is the time to do it in the season against good teams.
And clearly a foul
Oh, man.
again against Stockhausen, and no call from the center referee, who is seeing a different game than what I'm seeing up here in the booth. I can tell you that much for certain.
so one thing I think I would do is pressure the ball. They're looking to throw the ball over the top. Not so much now, but I noticed earlier. So, pressure the ball, not give them an easy distribution over the top to one of their speedy forwards.
Saheda. Ball coming through. McEwen on the ball again. Working near side. Touches it past. Saheda comes right in. Gets fouled. And does get the call back here. And the Pioneers certainly will have taken that one. And now we've got a yellow card issued to McEwen for the Crusaders. And she will now sub off. Not quite sure if that's just an unsportsmanlike or maybe if it's a persistent infringement. Just kind of building up here. Fouls accumulated by the team. But we do have a free kick now for the Pioneers in their own end.
You mean lack of fouls accumulated by
Yeah,
the team.
exactly. That's true. Hurdle back into the middle. Ball comes right back out. Grizzle. Camera with a good step there.
Yeah.
Over to Dunn.
Nice challenge on Brooks' part.
And the Crusaders bring it back to the defense, start to work up the middle, looking for those through balls, and now they're going to slot one up.
There you go.
You can see it. It's writing on the wall right there. Certainly a part of their attack. They're trying to draw in some of the Pioneers. Throw a ball up over the top. Camera gets taken down in her own box, and she does get the call, so it will be a free kick for the Pioneers.
A lot of heavy pressure on our backs back there.
So, Nick, you can bring a lot of insight here to the press box, seeing that you coach with Patrick Turner. At halftime, if you get an accumulation of fouls that aren't called like this, does he ever have a word with the referee, just asking, "Hey, what are you seeing out there?" Or is he
that
more
a rhetorical question? I think that's a rhetorical question, isn't it?
He's been a lot better in this past couple years of respectfully asking what's going on. He's not just yelling blatantly.
I'm sure he makes his point, though.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And it's not Pat's way of being. He's not being disrespectful by any means. Pat's a respected coach, across the state, just with all everything he's done for the boys and the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows what he's talking about. And sometimes the only way to get a referee's attention is be a little stern toward him.
If you're 10 and older.
So we are going to the Chuck-a-Duck now, but I want to say thank you to Nick Spees for coming on with us. Nick, it's certainly a pleasure. Just know that, our thoughts and prayers are with your brother Nathan, your entire family, and, we hope that we get to see you around here and, various events at Duchesne and across the community.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys, Duchesne doing everything tonight.
Sure.
Everybody listening, appreciate all your support. We appreciate the support from across the different agencies and everything across the state and locally and everything. So it's awesome. It's definitely helping my brother heal mentally, definitely helping the family. And we can be more grateful for everything that.
Be sure to give him our best.
So, absolutely, I will.
Yeah, please do. So that was Nick Spees here for the Spees Strong Night. We're going to go into halftime. We got the Chuck-a-Duck coming up here shortly, but we'll hear a couple words from our.
The Zach Blackemeyer State Farm Insurance Agency is here to help with car insurance, commercial auto insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance, and more. Their office opened in 2016 to serve customers in Florissant and St. Charles, as well as surrounding St. Louis County, with all their insurance and financial service needs. Zach is a State Farm Chairman's Circle agent, which represents the top 3% of agents across the nation. Contact them today by calling 314-921-7900 to see how they can help you and your family.
From strategy to execution, Worldwide Technology helps organizations across industries solve their most pressing challenges through innovative technology solutions, empowering business to take on the challenges of tomorrow. They leverage more than 30 years of experience to help propel the globe's largest and most innovative organizations forward. Find them online at wwt.com.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Arch Material and Handling of St. Louis has one of the largest inventories of pre-owned pallet racking and warehouse equipment in the nation. We work with clients of all sizes, small and large businesses, as well as individuals with very exclusive needs. Visit their website at archmaterial.com.
Hollander Legal has been committed to providing exceptional legal assistance and protection to families and businesses in the St. Charles community since 2019. Their specialized focus in estate planning, probate, and elder law ensures exceptional care and expertise in managing assets, wills, trusts, and legal matters for you. Call 636-442-4670 or visit hollanderlegal.com and ensure that your loved ones are protected. Hollander Legal, your trusted estate planning and probate legal team.
Worldwide Technology is a financially strong, privately held global technology service provider with over 30 years of experience, helping the world's largest and most innovative organizations think differently about technology and how it can drive their business forward. We've got smart people who can help you learn about the latest tech, acquire new skills, and train your team on the solutions integral to your organization's success. We work with our clients by developing collaborative partnerships that give them a holistic view, from infrastructure to experience and everything in between. Create your account today at wwt.com and clear your path forward.
Arch Material and Handling of St. Louis has one of the largest inventories of pre-owned pallet racking and warehouse equipment in the nation. We work with clients of all sizes, small and large businesses, as well as individuals with very exclusive needs. Visit their website at archmaterial.com.
All right, we are at halftime here where the Crusaders have a 3-0 lead over the Pioneers. There's 6 minutes left, and your screen is probably showing you a very, very weird sighting on the soccer field. And it is the Chuck-a-Duck. Oh, Tiana Newman with the winner of the Chuck-a-Duck for the over 10 age group.
Better known as Tiana Turner tonight, probably. Have to be a Turner.
So we will bring you some action here live. Got 5:50 left to go in half.
You're listening to Varsity Soccer on the Duchesne High School Pioneer Network.
All right, Pioneer soccer fans, welcome back to Frank Barrow Stadium, where the Crusaders are leading the Pioneers by a score of 3-0 on a beautiful evening here at Frank Barrow Stadium as we come together as a community to support Nathan Spees, an officer, 2012 graduate of Duchesne, and an officer for St. Louis Police Department who was injured in the line of duty. And we, as we stated earlier, Mike, we have no shortage of guests here this evening and no shortage of content either. We are joined by three people that represent St. Dominic High School, obviously our opponents here at Duchesne High School tonight. And they came together and said, hey, how can we help with the Spees Strong Night, and came up with all kinds of baskets and goodies and things. So if you guys don't mind, just take a second. Here's your microphone. Just introduce yourselves. Let us know who you are and what you do up there.
Well, my name is Brenda Suter.
And I'm Michelle Harrell. We both have sophomore daughters that play at St. Dominic.
And Keller sent us an email and just asked us, he had snapshotted the Twitter account that Duchesne was doing a fundraiser for Officer Spees.
Right.
And he just sent an email to a few of us and asked if we would do a basket. So we talked and we're like, let's do it up big. And so we actually contacted the city organization and they gave us 2 free tickets.
Wow.
One of the dads, Jim Wolkoff, had 4 Cardinal tickets, donated 4 Cardinal tickets. I sent a group me message to all the St. Dominic families and told them what we were doing. And within minutes. 2 hours. Minutes, but
so quick.
Ended up, I think, got $350 from
Wow.
the families to.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So we just thought it was a good opportunity to come together as a soccer community to support Nathan and the cause and play and have fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we mentioned earlier that, this has always been a great rivalry, but tonight's more than just soccer, right?
Yes.
It's about one of our own, and, we feel the same way about you guys. Sometimes you wouldn't think it, sitting in the stands and what's going back and forth, but it ends up being a friendly rivalry, and it's been, we've been playing each other for years and years.
And a lot of these girls have played together since they were little with different sports.
Clubs, teams, and
with
so
club
forth.
Teams with CYC, so.
Correct. It's always fun after the game. You watch these two teams compete for 80 minutes here in high school, and then even on the club scene or whatever. And 2 opposing teams, they finally get done with their final talks at the end of the game. Next thing you know, all these players start finding each other.
Right,
it's like,
getting pictures with their
Jenny and
friends,
Susie
and
went to this club together, and then these played together at grade school or whatever. It's just, it's so fun to see them. Literally just turn off the switch from competition and turn on the switch to, hey, that's my friend. I got to go say hi.
Right.
It's just so much fun.
Yep. Get pictures, post it on Instagram, Snapchat.
Yes. Yeah, so we're honored to be here, and we're happy that you invited us, and we're happy to be able to support.
It's so much fun, and it's such a classy move on your guys' part, and we can't say thank you enough, right? It was a very heartfelt, emotional interview that we just had with Nick, and it's not just the physical aspect; it's the emotional aspect, right? You've got a very, very active, police officer that plays sports nonstop, and now he's got to deal with life with just one leg. And
he was shot.
Tough.
He was shot 2 years ago.
Shot 2
the
years
other
ago,
leg.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
we're also joined by Nathan Tock. You're the vice principal? Is that correct?
Vice principal, for student life, assistant principal.
So Brenda and Michelle are great examples of the kind of parents you want in your school, sending their kids to that school, and the parental involvement that Catholic schools really rely on.
Yeah, and that was my first thought tonight when we had this opportunity to come here and celebrate Nate and his road back, was just how some of the Duke communities are and how many people care about each other and what we're willing to do just for the betterment of all. So, I think there's lots and lots of examples in the stands tonight of moms and dads and aunts and uncles or grandmas and grandpas that are out here just doing what they can for their kids and teach them the right way to do stuff. So we appreciate you having us here.
Yeah. Don't you think tonight is a great example to our kids, too?
Yes.
Of how we react to certain circumstances and,
putting it all in perspective. And then, when because they learn so much just by watching their parents, right, and watching their peers. And when we all come together and we could just, have a night like this where we're all here for the same common cause, it's heartwarming. It really is. It just, you can't put it into words how much it means and how much it's teaching all these little kids that are out here tonight and having fun. And they think they're just chucking a duck to have some fun, and they're actually raising money for a police officer that really truly needs it. It's incredible. It really is. So getting to your soccer here just a little bit. You guys are 5-5 right now. You guys coming off of it looks like 2-1 here in your last 3 games. So what positions do your daughters play, and what was the road getting to the varsity level here?
Brenda's daughter scored the first goal tonight.
Well, I guess things are going all right then for your daughter.
Yeah. So they both made varsity as freshmen and now sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a good experience, learning experience for them, learning
Sure.
to play together, playing with girls of all different ages. It's a little different than club where everybody's your same age. Now you're
Right.
playing girls.
And that was going to be my next question is, did they play club, before high school?
They did, yes,
Yeah.
they both did. Since
Okay.
they've been very young.
I would imagine so. When you look out there and you see the talent that's on the field, right? That's there could be some raw talent out there, but it looks like what we're dealing with out here is truly skilled players that have been taught the game year in and year out.
Yeah,
And
both teams.
Both teams, definitely.
You must have a very talented sophomore class because there's 10 of them on the varsity.
There's a lot of sophomores.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a
Brenda's
lot.
eyes just lit up. She's like, "Yeah, you're so right."
There's more sophomores than any other grade, so
Right.
it's been good because then they've got to play with their friends and
Sure.
Yeah.
make new friends.
Yeah, grow up together.
Peyton plays with 5 other girls from her club at St. Dominic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
They're all sophomores.
We're going to talk a little bit more about this later, but both teams playing for great coaches. Greg Keller's been at Dominic 23 years, 800 over 800 wins.
Wow.
Patrick, same. It's been here 10 years, dozen years.
If that's a question, I don't know the answer, Mike. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, let's put it this way. Greg Keller's got 6 state championships with the girls, and Patrick's got 5 with the girls. So
correct.
You've got 2 great coaches on the sidelines.
Ball touch there. Glances off of Grizzle. Determined not a pass back, so hands are in play for Danker. Danker on a yellow card, so she needs to mind her P's and Q's here this evening. But we certainly like to have fun. Mike and I joke a lot, that some days we feel like we're just up here talking to ourselves. But there are actually people that come up to us all the time and like, "Oh my gosh, we have so much fun." I was like, "I'm glad you're having fun because we have fun and we have no idea if anybody's watching." Right. So it's such a blast. So life up at St. Dominic, I guess, girls seem to be enjoying it and, having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves it.
A lot of hard work, a lot of practices.
Yep.
Time consuming, but definitely worth it.
And such a change, you go from grade school where, a lot of these kids are K through 8.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you've really got to watch, or everyone gets treated the same, whether you're an 8th grader or kindergarten, right? And then they move on, right? And you can speak to this too. It's like this, now you've got this freedom, but you also have a lot more responsibility, right? And they, they really embrace it. And I think, the Catholic schools really do a great job of doing that, but then also melding in a piece of we want the parents involved, right? I feel like some, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, right? But some of the public schools in the area really just want you to drop your kid off and get out of the way, right? Whereas the Catholic schools say, no, you're part of the community. We want you here. And you guys are great examples of that right now, right? Being up here, talking about the night, donating things for, the Speed Strong. It's just, I love it, right? I do love it. I love the rivalry, don't get me wrong, and it's fun, and we all get caught up in it sometimes, but we're all here because we're all, Catholics looking for the same end goal, right?
As Brenda mentioned, when she put out a message to the parents asking for donations, within minutes, everybody was participating. It's just,
oh my gosh,
we have a
That's
great,
so cool.
great group of parents.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a great group of parents and girls.
That speaks volumes about you guys and your
Yeah.
in your school.
And of course, we're like, did you get enough?
Right. Yeah.
Anything we ask for.
Now, all those checks are going to be good, right? We're not going to have to come back and talk to somebody.
Wait a few days before you cash them, but absolutely, yeah.
Gotta love Venmo.
Yeah.
All Venmo.
So easy.
Instant gratification.
Right. But I say we have a really great group of parents, and that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when's the last day of school for you guys?
Oh, May.
Our seniors are done on the 9th. That's their last day of classes, followed by finals. We're the 21st. Does that sound
21st?
right?
Okay.
It's a little bit of a whirlwind this time of year, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm living like a day at a time here.
Teachers are counting down the days.
Right.
We're getting
Yeah.
there.
Without a planner in your hands, it's kind of hard to tell what day is what, right?
Exactly.
I totally get it.
Well, looking at your schedule, you have 7 more games to play, and you got a tough district ahead of you. Yeah, Timberland's 10-2, Liberty's 8-2.
This guy does his homework, by the way. If you guys haven't figured this out, all of the spreadsheet stuff, that is him. I'm more of the play-by-play, and I feel like tonight I'm getting paid exactly what I'm worth, which I'm a volunteer. So
Candy
0.
bar and a soda.
Yeah, exactly, right. But, yeah, I usually do a lot of this play-by-play, but I am happy to, always step aside so we can have great conversations, with just awesome people. And we have had, 3 or 4 different wonderful interviews here this evening as we're joined by 3 of the representatives from St. Dominic High School here to support the Speece Strong Foundation. And we have got 30 minutes left to play second half action. The Pioneers are trailing the Crusaders 3-0. Shot on goal, and it sneaks under Danker, and that is another goal for the Crusaders as they find the back of the net.
Number 8.
And that's Peyton Suter.
Second one of the night.
Second one of the night. Are you calling the game? Are you calling the goal? Come on. Come on.
Peyton Suter with the goal.
Oh, the PA.
Oh, the PA.
Yeah. Yep.
That was number 1 for Peyton Suter with the goal.
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's my bad.
Sorry, they told me it was you.
I'm sorry. I really thought it was. I think it might have been. That was my bad. Where am I? Number 8, Jory Briscoe.
I think it was Jory.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
number
Jory.
8.
Jory.
Crusader goal scored by number 8, Jory Briscoe.
Yes.
With an assist. With an assist from Peyton.
She just wanted her daughter to score a goal.
I couldn't see.
I feel so bad now. I really didn't think that was her. Oh, my gosh. And there she goes. Suter's actually streaking up the left side.
Maybe she will.
Eye up. Finds the left side, and now Suter's going to get the goal.
No, that was 1 for Peyton Suter with the goal.
Oh, some days I feel like we have a little too much fun up here in the press box. So.
Your daughter has good speed.
Is she riding home with you?
She won't. She's not going to want to.
So 5-0 is your score now. Pioneers trailing the Crusaders on a gorgeous evening at Frank Barrow Stadium. Couple substitutions here coming in for the Pioneers. McCormick going to work the near side. Stockhausen trying to get up the middle, dispossessed quickly. And the Crusaders on the attack once again, but Welchko steps in with a great tackle. As the Crusaders come right back, far side, ball crosses in. That's going to go out for a corner for the Crusaders. So, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for supporting the Speece Strong Night, and we wish you all the best. I hope that your next 30 days at school go by without any incident, and then you can enjoy your summer.
Absolutely.
Right?
Same to you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. It was a great night, and always good to play the Pioneers in anything. So we're here for it.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much.
you. It was
We
fun.
certainly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
good to see you. It's good to see you, Nate.
So, great representatives there of St. Dominic High School.
I think that speaks well of Catholic education. Those are the kinds of people that are involved. Those parents and leaders within the walls of the school. We talked to Debbie Turner earlier. Makes me proud to be part of the whole thing.
Definitely. Crusaders on the attack once again, and a shot goes high and over the crossbar for the Crusaders. So, Mike, how are we going to break through and get that first goal here?
Good question. I will say this. I was mentioning the center backs before, and I wasn't trying to, demean them or anything.
Sure.
They're learning as they go, but I think they've improved just within this game. I've seen improvement in terms of their coverage. They have a tall order back there.
They certainly do.
They've got a couple of really good forwards. But yeah, I had mentioned earlier, these two teams are coached by two really good individuals. Patrick Turner for Duchesne, Greg Keller, who's been at Dominic forever. He's got 6 titles. Patrick has 5. Can't get much better than that.
Katie Welchko with a fantastic defensive play in the box, denying the goal-scoring opportunity there. Unfortunately, the clearance went right back to a midfielder for the Crusaders. They did get a shot off, but that shot went way high. No danger for the Pioneers whatsoever, so it is a goal kick for the Pioneers.
So this will be a good learning experience for Duchesne as we are staring down districts in a couple of weeks. 3 weeks maybe? 3 or 4 weeks?
This is exactly what Coach Turner plans, right?
Yeah.
Put yourself up against strong opponents, learn from it.
It sort of exposes what you need to work on, and that's the whole point, right?
Yep. Learn it, build on it, and then take those results into the postseason. And you know what? It certainly works for them.
Yep.
It's a recipe for some great state championships and at least some, if nothing else, some good deep runs and good competition.
And don't let that 5-5 record fool you with St. Dominic. They're a really good program. The last couple of seasons, they were 30-20. The previous 13 seasons, they averaged 22 wins and 4 losses.
Wow.
All 13 seasons, so, yeah.
Crusaders get the cross off, shot, and that's going to go wide. Possibly a deflection, but no, they're going to call for a goal kick for the Pioneers coming out. And we're going to take a second here and hear from our sponsors.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
And we're back. Shot on.
Good save.
Great save by Danker. And then another ball that's poked wide. Actually, they're going to call that a deflection, so it's going to go out for a corner kick there for the Crusaders. But
second win of the half for St. Dominic.
Excellent save there by Danker. Danker's had a good night.
Oh, she sure has. She's made some great stops.
Don't let the scoreboard fool you, because she has done a fantastic job in net this evening. She did earn a yellow card by using her hands just outside of the box, but nothing too malicious. Another save for Danker. Bounces out. Crusaders play it back, lob it in.
Nice ball.
Crossed in, and Danker right there to scoop it up.
Good job for her coming off the line and hanging on to it, not giving up a rebound.
Fun fact, Danker actually signing her letter of intent to go play golf at Quincy. So as good of a soccer player as she is, she's an even better golfer.
So don't damage those hands playing
exactly.
soccer.
Well, I know who I'm going to invite, for my next foursome if I ever need one.
But that is a thing we're going to have to look at for next season. She's gone. We're going to need a keeper. So looks like Ella Burks might be the one in the wings, but we'll have to see.
Of course, Ella is certainly no stranger to playing up against tough competition, as she walked on and played on the Duchesne boys hockey team here this year.
I went to some of those games. She held her own.
Her brother, Ben Burke, a goalkeeper, state champion goalkeeper for the Pioneers in 2023. So she certainly knows, what's going to be asked of her next year. And I think, it's going to be fun watching her get out there and prove herself.
Yeah, I think she'll do just fine. I found it interesting. Both St. Dominic and Duchesne won state championships the same year, 2013 and 2019. Both state champs, both representing St. Charles County soccer.
I still remember.
Was your daughter on one of those?
She was. She was on the 2019.
Yeah, that's right.
She earned goalkeeper of the year as she made 2 saves in PKs. The final save won the game.
Wow.
That's
a memory.
Picture on the front of the paper was the team piled up on top of her, all just celebrating, and it's certainly something that none of us will ever forget.
No, that's a memory that'll last a lifetime.
It really is. One of the things that stood out to me, you're talking about both teams winning state. So in 2019, the Pioneers, were in a different class, obviously, than Crusaders, and our state championship run happened just a couple days before theirs did. And after we had won, there was actually a card, and I'm not sure if it was Coach Turner that actually put that together or one of the parents or whatever, but the Duchesne girls all signed a card saying good luck to the St. Dominic girls.
That's awesome.
And left that there for them at Swope Park over in Kansas City. So just a neat little thing there. Once again, kind of shows that life is a little bit bigger than a game. Yep, we love this game, don't get me wrong, but there are things that are certainly bigger at play. And another save by Danker. So multiple saves here in a short period of time. Danker's standing on her head right now.
Yeah, she's playing a great game.
Big punt right out to midfield.
She's got 7 shutouts on the season this year. So, out of 12 games.
Good defending there by Daly Meyer. Concedes the corner kick, but does an excellent job keeping up with her mark.
We really haven't tested their goalie much. She's a sophomore. She splits time with another sophomore goalie. Their starter last year graduated, and I think she was maybe second team All-State or something along those lines. So,
corner comes in, deflects off of McCarthy, and a streaking player for the Crusaders comes up, strikes the ball, but hits it wide. And that goes out for a goal kick for the Pioneers. So 20-30 left to play in the second half. Pioneers trailing Crusaders by a score of 5-0. But don't let that scoreline fool you. This has been a fun game to watch. Good step there, Smith. Back up to Smith. Smith makes the person. Oh, loses the ball right after the good nutmeg.
Need some support here.
Small there.
Push
on
up.
the ball. Emily Small pressuring. Grizzle out wide to Dunn. Down to McCarthy. McCarthy flicks it on for Stockhausen. Far side. And she's streaking over there. Little shoulder-to-shoulder collision. She's unable to get to the ball before it goes out, so as they throw in their own third here for the Crusaders.
So I was looking at number 23 on St. Dominic, Hannah McEwen. If that's the same family, she's got 3, probably her dad and 2 uncles, but one was a Parade All-American Player of the Year. And her other brother, or I'm sorry, her other uncle, I think it's the same family, was tremendous.
I have no idea where you pull these stats out, Mike, but I am astonished every time you bring one up.
So our daughter played club soccer with Molly McEwen, whose father Jim was one of the 3 brothers, and they were just all stud, soccer players.
Sure.
I'm thinking it's the same family. I don't know it 100%, but red hair runs in their family, and she's got red hair, so I got to think it's the same ones. Her dad is Matt McEwen. Brenda was saying. So
okay.
Yeah.
So substitution here for the Pioneers. Emma Lowe coming into the game along with Charlie Pirtle, Violet Saheda coming off. We've got Madison McCarthy, Katie Stockhausen, and Allison Slattery.
Who's our next game, Jason? You know?
I do, Mike. I've got the whole list in front of me here. St. Louis United on the 29th.
That's a homeschool team?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Yep. Parkway Central at home on the 5th. Both of those are home games.
Mm-hmm. We don't have many home games.
We
Is that
do
it?
not.
That's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that my guess is the 29th will be senior night. They typically do that the second to last game. I've got confirmation from Donnie that is the senior night. Just in case it gets rained out, they've got one more home game to fit it in. So,
And our district's where? Orchard Farm, do we know?
I believe it is.
Mm-hmm. They're having a good year. They're Orchard Farm's 9-0. Can't get better than that.
Wow.
Moberly is 11-3. St. Charles West is 7-3, and Winfield's 9-5. So, got some strong competition in that district coming up in a month.
We do. It'll be fun to watch, and we certainly are going to wish the girls the best. I wish we had some home games here for the postseason that we'd be able to bring you all the action, and hopefully those respective schools have commentators as well. I'm not sure if Orchard Farm does just yet for their games, but
well, Jason, you can sit in the stands and do play-by-play.
I could do it.
I think the Duchesne fans would really like that.
Now, am I going to broadcast it, or am I just talking to myself and letting them listen
just
in?
talk really loud, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you'd have to talk really loud out there at Orchard Farm. That is a big, beautiful facility.
It sure is.
I love the big concrete, seating area there behind the goal mouth. Just really, really a neat design there. And from what I'm told, and I should have asked this question earlier, I believe that the new baseball diamond over at St. Dominic has something very similar to it. It's got the turf infield and all that. So it's supposed to be quite the complex there that they've been putting together.
Well, Orchard Farm did it right. I live right up the street, and I've been on campus a number of times, and beautiful. They did a great job.
I still would like to get inside the building and take a look. Shot from distance, and that goes high and out of bounds.
I believe that was Abby Anselm. Sisters probably, huh? With Ella?
It's possible. So, Mike, have you been in Orchard Farm?
I have.
To see the inside?
I did. I was at their very first boys and girls basketball game. It was a home game.
Nice.
And I've been in there subsequently. Beautiful, beautiful. They've got two gyms. The main gym is spectacular.
Saheda up the middle. Gets slowed down a little bit. Stays on her feet. No call. Now she's tracking back to defend. Well done by Saheda. Turning on the afterburners to help stop the play there after being dispossessed. 15-20 left to go in the game. Pioneers trailing the Crusaders by a score of 5-0. Pioneers still looking for that first goal.
Yeah, it'd be nice to knock one in before the end of the next 15 minutes.
Crusaders knocking the ball around backfield, looking up. Play stopped. I think we're dealing with a few heavy legs here for the Pioneers, and certainly starting to get a little agitated here as they're down 5-0, wanting to break through and at least get one, put one in the back of the net here.
Well, when you get down like that, and they're really doing a good job of working the ball around, and you start chasing, it gets frustrating.
It does. It certainly does. And you can see some of that frustration coming out here on the field, but nothing unsportsmanlike or anything.
No,
you
not
get
at all.
More of a motivator here for the teammates to pick up the pace and, let's try and keep our heads up for the final 14 minutes here.
That's right.
Pirtle, far side. Pirtle comes away with it. Still has it. Beats two. Finds Slattery. Back out to Pirtle. And Pirtle, with her stamina, having no issues keeping up with the upperclassmen of St. Dominic, doing an outstanding job.
Just a handful of years ago, St. Dominic, I keep saying Dominic, I need to be more respectful. 2021, they went undefeated 25-0, Class 4 state champs. They averaged 5 goals scoring and only gave up 0.6 goals a game. That's a pretty good combination. That'll take you a long, long way, as it shows. State championship, 2021. What a nice night, though, right?
It is
with Nathan.
gorgeous.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the weather.
Well,
the
weather's
yes.
perfect.
The evening itself, supporting Nathan Speece, of course.
Just wonderful.
And the crowd's still sticking around, even though we've got a lopsided scoreboard. They're all here because they know that it's bigger than just soccer. It's so much fun to be a part of. The weather is cooperating. Now, if the Pioneers can throw one in the back of the net for a little excitement for their fans as well, it'd be a good little cap on there. Foul in the back of Lowe, so that's going to be a free kick for the Pioneers in the middle third. Pioneers coming into this outing 8-4. Had a good run there in the Orchard Farm tournament after losing only 3-2 to Fort Zumwalt North. Bouncing back and beat Lutheran St. Charles 4-0. And then St. Pius X out of Festus by a score of 2-0.
That was a good game.
Ranked team. And now, I don't know if you noticed, Mike, but the power rankings came out, and Duchesne's name is on that list now.
Right.
Fun to watch.
Come off
Ball
your line.
coming in. Danker comes off the line. Drops down. Right to the attacker. And she finds the back of the net, and that is number 11.
Lydia Amos.
Lydia Amos.
Yep.
Crusader goal by number 11, Lydia Amos.
So getting back to what you were talking about, I have Max Preps ranking Class 2. We're number 11, and St. Dominic is number 12 in Class 4. Is that what you have?
I don't have it printed
Okay.
out. I just noticed it when I was checking out the socials earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
But good to see us on the list here and getting the recognition that I think these ladies deserve after, really kind of putting a good product here on the field. And, you're going to have games like this when you're playing a tougher opponent.
Yeah.
But, all in all, it has been a very fun team to watch. And I think
if our viewers joined us, later in the game, right off the bat, we had a crossbar.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't 2 minutes into the game. That
No.
could have easily dropped in, but
Correct.
Who knows how that would have changed things? I don't know, but
it's always fun to speculate a little bit on that, right?
Especially when it's 6-0.
Yeah, exactly. Ball comes back into the middle. Lydia Amos on it again. Shot wide. And that was number 5, Addison McCrory. And now we've got a substitution for the Pioneers. Emma Lowe coming off. Reagan Potts, a senior, is going to go in up top for the Pioneers.
So earlier in the season, we looked at our schedule, and we were 8th out of 8 teams ranking in our district.
Mm-hmm.
So we're currently 4th out of 8 teams. 6 of the 8 teams have winning records in our district. I think I mentioned Archer Farm 9-0, Moberly 11-3. So, yeah, good competition in the district. It'll be fun to see how that plays out in a month.
Slattery out wide. Potts attacking. McCormick also attacking. Unable to gain possession as the backfield knocks it around here for the Crusaders. Find an open player in the middle.
Duchesne just keeping the ball in front of him.
9:44 left to play in the game. Crusaders are up 6-0 over the Pioneers. Ball slotted in the corner.
So you can see that's an obvious tactic that they've pretty much employed the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
The forwards are right next to our back line, looking for that long ball over the top. Their backs are doing a good job of coming through for them. My daughter, we used to play against a team. Their forwards were good, and their backs were good, and their midfielders were questionable.
Yeah.
And
shot goes over the crossbar.
When their backs get the ball, they bomb it down. Their forwards get it.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get it back. Our midfielders ran. They were making 60-yard runs constantly.
Oh.
It was tough.
That's why I could never survive being a midfielder.
And then you have coaches, where are you at? Get
Yeah.
back up. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I just ran 5 times up
Why
and down
aren't
the
you
field.
supporting
60
the play?
Yes, exactly. Like we say always, it's easy to play from up here, isn't it?
So the Crusaders on the ball, trying to enter the attacking third. Elect to play it back to midfield. And now they're going to circle around far side. Send the ball up, and that's going to go out of bounds. So a throw in for the Pioneers. Looks like Faith Dunn here about to take with 8 minutes left to play, second half action. And this game really kind of taking a back seat to a bigger cause here for the day, bigger reason for a big crowd, and that is the Speece Strong night, where we are honoring 2012 alumni Nathan Speece, who is a St. Louis police officer injured in the line of duty. It was great to have his brother up here in the booth with us and talking in the first half there. Just his spirits are as to be expected, but not too low. But all the surgeries and they're going well, and to see this community come together, it basically recharges the emotional battery there.
Has to, yeah. I remember some very good friends of ours. Their son is close friends with them. So I remember the Speece twins when they were in grade school, little guys, and just a great family, good kids. I know that the boys are very close to each other, so I know Nick's going to keep a close eye on his brother, and tonight accompany him out to the game for the coin toss, and so.
And we knew it was questionable whether or not he was going to be able to make it, but he was able to do it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everyone who helped make tonight a special night, fun night, and fellowship for a cause. Donations to Speece Strong effort have come from participants in the Duchesne golf tournament, Duchesne students, soccer families, the St. Dominic community, local businesses, and all of you here tonight. We couldn't be more proud of our Duchesne and St. Dominic communities for coming together to make a difference for a family very near and dear to our hearts. Due to your generosity, tonight we raised $5,000 for the Speece Strong. On behalf of Duchesne and the Speece family, thank you very much.
what an incredible number. $5,000 raised in one evening here at the soccer game, just proving the point that life is a lot bigger than just a soccer game.
And we know that more donations are going to be rolling in. Yeah, great effort on everybody's part. It's great to see everybody coming together for a common cause.
And I don't think it could be said enough, thanks to the St. Dominic community for their support here this evening, as well as they, learned what this night was all about, sent out a couple group me messages and text messages, and, had, as she was saying, almost more responses than she knew what to do with there in the beginning. So, so hats off to the St. Dominic community for all of their support here for the Speece Strong. So 5 minutes left to play. 6-0 your score in favor of the Crusaders. Pioneers still looking for that breakthrough goal. Coach Pat Turner going to his bench here, getting some play time for a lot of his alternate players here, his utility players.
If we go back about 20 seconds, Hannah McEwen had the ball at her feet, and she was headed towards the goal, and freshman Katie Welchko did a great job getting physical, knocked her off the ball. Good things in the future for Miss Welchko, for only a freshman.
So a header there off of Slattery out to Small. Small with a good turn, but unable to get past two Crusaders. And now Small attacking. Dispossessed. And it's going to go back to the back line for St. Dominic. Ball in the box. Pressure on. Shot on and saved by Denker. Denker having a great night tonight despite the scoreline. She has come up huge with some amazing saves. Hats off to her.
Mm-hmm. That was off the foot again of Hannah McEwen. She's got 13 points, 6 goals. Actually, now 7 goals. She had 1 in the first half.
Far side. Crusaders with the ball. Working up the sideline. Dunn. And they're going to say that that ball went out of bounds for a Crusader throw-in. Looked like Dunn was going to come away with it, start to work her way back up the field. No, they are calling it back for a foul. I'm sorry. Long shot in, and Danker with the save. No doubt or no rebound. Great hands by Danker.
She wearing goalie gloves or golfer's gloves?
I don't know. Do they say Royce or TaylorMade?
Fantastic golfer. She can outdrive most men. She can
You
really.
got that right.
Yeah, she can really hit it.
Yeah, please don't ever put me up against her. I know I'll lose. Of course, she won state here for Duchesne just this past year. After taking a year off from soccer to focus on golf, and another save by Danker. So she took last season off here for the Pioneer Soccer, and according to Coach Denny, she was practicing probably 3 to 4 nights a week is what it sounded like, just pretty much nonstop with one goal in mind, and that was to go out and win state.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, exactly.
Yeah, we're going to miss her.
Oh.
She's done a great job tonight cutting down the angles on breakaways and shots.
Bouncing ball in the box.
Run through
Potts on it. Sending it out wide. And the Pioneers elect to clear the ball. Try and regroup.
Minute and a half left.
So at the end of this game, the Crusaders are going to go to a 6-5 record. Pioneers will be 8-5. Pioneers, once again, coming back home on the 29th. That'll be senior night against St. Louis United. A few days later, May 5th, we'll be back home. That'll be our final home game before Mike and I have to go back down to Jamaica, recharge the batteries, and come back for the boys' season.
Yeah, we can only wish, right?
Right? Well, and the school will pay for that, I'm sure. I mean, I thought that was in my contract when I signed my contract there. Off seasons are all spent in the islands.
St. Dominic is going to play on the 28th next at Villa Duchesne. Villa Duchesne 7-2-1. We beat them earlier in the year on penalty kicks.
Ball slotted through. Krupich. And that shot's going to go in for the Crusaders with 36 seconds left. And that was number 23, Hannah McEwen, again with another goal.
She's a good one. And only a sophomore.
Crusader goal by number 23, Hannah McEwen.
That makes the score 7-0, 35 seconds left. And as you said, tonight's been more than just soccer, right?
Correct. Yep. The bigger takeaway is not the score line. It is the community coming together, the bleachers full here for Nathan Spees, his entire family, after being injured in the line of duty. So certainly, an eye-opening experience and puts things in perspective for you. So as the clock winds down here, 10 seconds left to play. Pioneers just couldn't find it in the tank there to put one in the back of the net. But they still have 2 more home games where they're going to be able to come out and try and do so.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and that is it. Your final score is St. Dominic 7, Duchesne 0.
How about a nice round of applause for Nathan Spees? Officer Spees, thank you for your service, sir.
So from myself, Jason Bosher, my co-host, Mike Ryan, we'd like to thank you for watching tonight as we celebrate Nathan Spees and support him on his road to recovery. The Pioneers fall by a score of 7-0. Thank you very much and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
The Zach Plaquemire State Farm Insurance Agency is here to help with car insurance, commercial auto insurance, home insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance, and more. Their office opened in 2016 to serve customers in Florissant and St. Charles, as well as surrounding St. Louis County, with all their insurance and financial service needs. Zach is a State Farm Chairman Circle agent, which represents the top 3% of agents across the nation. Contact them today by calling 314-921-7900 to see how they can help you and your family.
Worldwide Technology is a financially strong, privately held global technology service provider with over 30 years of experience, helping the world's largest and most innovative organizations think differently about technology and how it can drive their business forward. We've got smart people who can help you learn about the latest tech, acquire new skills, and train your team on the solutions integral to your organization's success. We work with our clients by developing collaborative partnerships that give them a holistic view, from infrastructure to experience and everything in between. Create your account today at wwt.com and clear your path forward.
Hollander Legal has been committed to providing exceptional legal assistance and protection to families and businesses in the St. Charles community since 2019. Their specialized focus in estate planning, probate, and elder law ensures exceptional care and expertise in managing assets, wills, trusts, and legal matters for you. Call 636-442-4670 or visit hollanderlegal.com and ensure that your loved ones are protected. Hollander Legal, your trusted estate planning and probate legal team.
Arch Material and Handling of St. Louis has one of the largest inventories of pre-owned pallet racking and warehouse equipment in the nation. We work with clients of all sizes, small and large businesses, as well as individuals with very exclusive needs. Visit their website at archmaterial.com.